Hello and welcome back. Sherpas are a group of native ethnic tribe living in the mountains of Nepal. They've been living there for centuries. They've been hauling loads, especially to the Everest, which is obviously the highest mountain on Earth, and obviously takes the major chunk of climbers from across the world. Every rich man apparently right now today wants to be at the top of the world, so that they can have the bragging rights to be at the top of the world and everything. But Sherpas lately have taken over the sport. They have aggressively come on the front foot and have done miracles that probably nobody would have thought maybe 50 years ago. They have obviously the biggest icing on the cake was the K2 first winter ascent by the group of Nepali Sherpas, 11 of them all together heading to the summit of K2, which was obviously the biggest challenge in mountaineering that was left about a few years back. And this has happened in the last 1 decade. The Sherpas before that were just porters or maybe rope fixers or maybe just trail breakers up on the high mountains, and they were also the rescue teams, but they were not on the limelight. They were somebody. They were people like nobody was talking about. But in the last 1 decade, they have aggressively come on the front foot and taken bigger challenges. They have stepped across the board. At the same time, Western climbers are kind of like on the back foot. We have seen, and probably this has happened because there has been so much commercialization of the sport. The rich people in the U.S., even in Europe, they want to be at the top of at the highest point in the world, and for that they're willing to pay as much as $100,000 to achieve that, and which they're doing at the moment as we speak as well. And real true climbers seeking the spirit of mountaineering, the spirit of exploration, to challenge their endurance, have kind of like disappeared from the limelight. And they're climbing, but they are not getting as much attention as they were getting maybe 2 decades ago, maybe because of the evolution of social media. Things have changed a lot. But truly, why Sherpas are so resilient at high altitudes, and what is so physiologically so different among them? What makes them so strong at high altitude? And at these heights of like 9,000 meters, there's half the oxygen what you get on ground level. There has been a lot of research as to what makes Sherpa so strong and resilient at high altitudes. And they have come across this fact that most part of the reason that they are so strong is the genetic evolution over centuries, such a long time, that their body has evolved in a way that it can generate more blood cells, red blood cells, which would carry more oxygen to different parts of the body. Not just that, the mitochondria, the energy source of the body, is really evolved to give absolutely high level of energies at low fuel ratio. This is like an efficient car which is giving you more mileage with less fuel. Sherpas are now technically very sound. They are very good with the ropes. They are very good with the tools and gear, which sadly the Baltis have not been able to learn over these years. And this is one of the basic major reasons why Sherpas are currently being hired by big expedition companies from the US and Europe to prepare the mountains in Pakistan for their clients, so that they can come down to Pakistan and start climbing the mountains. Right now, Sherpa agencies are charging somewhere around $35,000 to $70,000 for an average Everest package. And if you want to have a VIP package, which includes an igloo, satellite TV, a jacuzzi, high-speed internet, everything is prepared for you. You just have to start climbing, and you just go to Camp 1, which is already stocked up with supplies and everything. Then you go around for Camp 3 and Camp 4, and then you go through the summit and come back. VIP package is going at about $100,000 per person, and this includes 1-to-1 Sherpa climber ratio, which is quite extraordinary because if you are like having 200 climbers heading for the summit, and you have like a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 ratio of Sherpas to climber, then you have as many climbers on mountains, and it's gonna increase the load of traffic on the mountain, and obviously increases the chances of complications and safety hazards and everything. But despite of the fact that the Sherpas have taken over the climbing world, but is it really good for the sport of climbing? You know, somehow, somewhere, we believe that the spirit of mountaineering, the spirit of exploration, the challenge of endurance that one puts oneself through is gradually diminishing, you know, it's just disappearing. None of these Sherpas are going for these unclimbed peaks. They are not going for opening new routes. They are not going for new styles of climbing. All they're doing right now is to make a name on the social media so that they are able to grab more client at the end of the day. This is all business right now. Apart from the fact that the Bhaktis have the first right to generate revenue for themselves, but this is not what is happening. You know, Sherpas are coming down. They have been brought down by the big outfits, the big Western outfits, like, for example, Adrian Bellinger. He's a US climber, he's a very famous climber, excellent portfolio in terms of high mountains. He's running his own agency in the US. It's called the Alpenglow Expedition. Back in 2019, I think, he came over to climb K2. He went all the way up to the shoulder. And once he reached the Camp 4 at the shoulder, he realized that there's way too much scope for him to break the trail or try to find a passage to the top. And after a lot of deliberation, he decided to abandon the expedition and come down. At the same time, a group of Nepali Sherpas was heading up the mountain. By the time Adrian was coming down, he met these group of Sherpas, including Nirmal Purja. It was his first ascent of K2. He was doing this Mission Possible thing of 48,000 years. And then probably Adrian thought, maybe if these guys can break the trail and fix the rope, maybe I can lead my client all the way to the top, and which exactly what happened. And Nirmal Purja, along with his team, was able to not only open the trail, he was able to fix the rope, and Adrian Bellinger with his clients actually followed Nirmal Purja to the top. Similarly, back in 2021, in Medicine Mountaineering, again a big brand in the US, they were coming down with their clients. Medicine Mountaineering has actually planned their climb along with a Sherpa agency from Nepal who were supposed to open the mountain for them, fix route and everything. And when Medicine Mountaineering realized that Nepali Sherpas cannot come down to Pakistan, they used all their possible links. They used all the possible connections in Pakistani authorities. They met the Foreign Office, they met the Information Ministry, and eventually Garrett Madison, who is the leading guide of this agency, they were able to get an approval from Pakistani authorities to allow Nepali Sherpas to come down in Pakistan and help their clients do the climb. So apart from all this information, the sad part is that the spirit of mountaineering is not there anymore. The biggest award in climbing, the Biole d'Or, is essentially about climbing new routes in alpine style, or probably any new style, or opening up a new mountain, unclimbed mountain, launching a new challenge to itself, or something extraordinary is being done in the world of climbing. Then this award is bestowed upon that climber. This award actually tells you what climbing is about, and I think whatever is happening right now is anything but climbing. Although there's a lot of opinion about this. Believe that everybody has their own mountain to climb. The way they see it, the way they climb it, is a totally different story. You cannot force one's opinion or one's style of climbing to any other person, or you just cannot expect them to do exactly the same what the pioneers have been doing or what the big names in climbing have been doing, And this conflict in the sport actually reminds me of Tom Moskowitz, who once told me a story when he was trying to climb nangaparbat in winters. And he was climbing around 6,500 meters on the Rupal face, and when he reached a ridge, probably nobody has ever been there because it was slightly away from the normal route. And he raised his head above that ridge. That ridge was the place from where you can see both faces of the mountain, the Raikot face as well as the Rumpel face. And he says that there was a gust of wind that hit my head, and my head actually bent back, and I realized that how much wind that the mountain is actually stopping and redirecting, and how much impact this mountain has in the region's climate and everything. And these are the kind of experiences that makes climbing such an interesting sport, such an interesting thing, which certainly isn't there anymore because people are more concerned with business and how they can translate their fame into money and be successful in that regard. This is our take on the conflict in climbing right now. Let us know what are your feedback. We would love to hear from you in the comments. How do you see this conflict? Do you think there's something good coming out of it? And do you think this is really going to hurt the sport itself? We love your feedback like always, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later.